So, I can't even hear myself, but I'm just going to start from my bathroom. Yo, I hurt my knee, like skating. Yeah. No, it's... Whatever, who cares? So, I hate the Mets, but that's the only background I have here. So, like, I don't have, man, well, it's me, Joey, Boy, reporting live from New York City, Queens. Now, fuck the Mets. Oh my god. Okay.
A happier and healthier future for everyone. A look at how everyday people make changes to better the world. Now streaming at roadtripnation.com.
I'm just looking at my calendar, you know. Got things to do, but today
on the mayor's door.
Saturday.
Very unlikely to persuade over the second beer.
You know?
Leak a sensitive document.
Plus, satire site The Onion buys Alex Jones info.
I am
That's not a joke.
Aquarius, Scorpio, rising, and I'm a Scorpio moon.
And if you're listening to us on the app this evening, welcome.
With Leo.
It's All Things Considered. New York's Attorney General is warning people anxious to help with wildfire relief that scammers may be looking to exploit their generosity.
Fuck the man.
Issued a statement.
I hate them.
Reminding
let's go.
to look out for predatory emails and fraudulent online fundraising sites. James encourages donors to support only verified charities and suggests checking the website disasterphilanthropy.org. The AG also warns donors not to give cash or to provide their credit card or personal information via phone, email, or text. Additionally, James suggests carefully reading an organization's terms and conditions online to see what fees will be charged for each donation. Donors can check the financial reports of charities seeking donations.
I'm really sorry about everything, guys. And thank you so much
which
for
is AG.
everything. Just, you know, it's been really
clear overnight continues
stressful and
in effect for another 40 minutes or so tomorrow.
I've been trying my best to
a high again in the low 60s. Our next chance for
keep
rain
it together,
until midweek
but
this week. 59 degrees currently under a fair sky.
I've seen my last couple of videos I posted, and it was just
featuring the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness,
a fucking mess.
And 9.3 inches of ground
but
clearance. Designed for adventure seekers.
I was just really fucked up. I'm actually not that fucked up right now.
Corporation of New York, working to reduce political polarization through
my friend's coming over. Actually, my friend's outside.
More information at Carnegie.
I gotta like go. But I just want to, like, you know.
Da Vinci is still one of the most well-known artists in the world. The rare artist.
Yeah, I hurt my knee, like, skateboarding.
Most people will
like, it's my skateboard, dog.
Their minds. The Mona Lisa, The Last Supper,
cool, right?
His Vitruvian Man notebook sketches. We have a lot of labels for Da Vinci: artist, scientist, polymath. The documentary seeks to understand the person. There are certain supreme figures
and then
our civilization who fascinate us in part because they seem to belong to two worlds at once. Shakespeare's like that, Bach, and Leonardo.
My friend's birthday too. Like, I got her a teddy bear. You're like,
Burns, his daughter
I
Sam Burns, and her
think
husband
it's
David
cute.
McMahon are the co-directors of a new two-part miniseries.
It was her birthday
Ken and Sarah Burns joined me
last week.
All things considered. Thank you.
But you know, whatever.
Let's start with you. You have made a career out of telling
I just don't know what to say.
What was it about
now? It's just kind of
step outside that lane that you have carved so well.
Sarah and Dave.
Yeah.
I was an old dog that needed to be reminded that I could still learn a new trick. I'd have this sort of sense that I only did American topics, and
But,
Walter Isaacson,
I don't want to talk
of,
to people.
Leonardo and Benjamin Franklin. I was working on a film on Benjamin Franklin, suggested that.
I think I just been
And
like
Sarah and Dave said, why not? They moved to Italy for a year to work on
isolating
this,
myself.
and sort of
What is it?
realized
Scorpio?
that this person is one of the most
Moon?
extraordinary gifts
Oh,
to humanity
God.
that we've ever had. Arguably the person of the last millennium.
Curious, both of you, and Sarah, I'll start with you. There are so many different elements of Da Vinci that I think fascinate us 500 plus years later. What to you is his most remarkable aspect? What to you is
It's
draw
the
that
full
makes
moon,
you
right?
I can't believe he did that.
I saw
think
it.
Curiosity. To want to explore everything.
Oh,
Obsessed
my
with nature and knowing
thing.
everything there is to know about it, and that's what leads him down all of these different paths that to him are entirely connected. He does not see boundaries between these disciplines that today we would say art is over here and science is over here. It's all part of this
my knee hurts.
to try to understand the world and it's all process. And that's the amazing thing about him is that he is looking at all of these things and in each case pushing it further, wanting to know more.
I'm not good at video.
Projecting forward in many cases on a subject in order to figure out what is the reality, the truth of this thing.
What about you? What does your mind stick on when you think about all of his accomplishments?
I think Sarah's right. That this focus on nature and relentlessly questioning everything, it makes him see that it was necessary to know everything about the human body, the circulatory system, the skeletal system, the everything in order to paint the Mona Lisa, and vice versa for these other things. So what happens is that what Leonardo leads you to is the essential
part of life.
The human project.
You know,
what is the nature of
we all
this
go
universe?
through.
Why are we here? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Where am I going? These are essential questions that our daily life distracts us from. And you can stand in front of a
But I thought I was going to.
It is amazing. I mean, left us no kind of diaries of what he felt, but he left us thousands of pages of what he thought.
I loved how the film really tied those together and really shows the idea that he's doing all of these dissections and sketches of the human body because he's kind of creating from the bone structure out, right? Like if I'm going to paint this person, I need to understand everything that's happening. So, it seems like, years of research might lead to just one brushstroke slightly differently, but just trying to understand how do I make it from the painting.
Yeah, it's the amazing thing about Leonardo. It's that way that he is pushing everything further. So other painters of his time would have studied anatomy, but in a much more superficial he says, I'm going to not only learn the muscles of the body, I'm going to understand the functions of the circulatory system so that I can paint a body. But he even goes further than that.
I think I do better.
Sets him apart. He wants us to understand what that person is thinking and feeling. And that is completely different with the intentions of the mind, or the motions of the mind. That's not something
as a model.
He brings to life these characters.
Than an actor because of act
and the soul.
One of the most interesting things about Da Vinci, and Ken, I want to ask you this, is the fact that he was kind of a procrastinator.
Well,
in the end, so many of these great paintings weren't finished. So many of these commissions took a very long time. Especially you as somebody who's delivered ambitious works of art.
Man, I wish I could play my music. I have NPR on my dumbass radio. You want to see my radio? It's from like 1990.
Guillermo del Toro, the Mexican filmmaker, says in our film, is really the key to it. So you see in a great painting like the Adoration of the Magi that is an abandoned work. That perhaps the questions that he is asking, these relentless questions, have not been answered or won't be answered by this particular project. Or perhaps he's answered them. They've and he's moved away. So he's not in the business of commerce of art. He has to survive.
Well,
he has to continue to live.
I'm really upset.
higher pursuit.
about
So
this.
he'll walk away
For real.
because he's either satisfied,
Oh my.
satisfied and needs to turn his attention to something else, to study
I'm
water
hurt.
dynamics, or to study the
But,
flight of
man,
birds, or to understand things about gravity or anatomy, or all of these things that he's constantly pursuing. And he didn't invent the helicopter or the submarine or these things.
I just had to-
And his drawings prefigured our own pursuits later on, and that makes him incredibly modern.
And yet he was still human, and I think one of the moments in the film
Okay.
that made us all really laugh was how Da Vinci acts when he's on a
Man!
where to place Michelangelo's statue. David, could one of you tell that story, because it's just really funny.
Yeah, they're both. Leonardo has returned to Florence, and Michelangelo has come there as well, and he's just made the David, which of course is still to this day one of Florence's great artworks. And there is this sort of city commission to decide where this very grand
This
statue
is my
should be
crit.
placed. And Leonardo is among the sort of
But
dissenters.
do you like this?
Suggests
It's
that
like,
it should actually be put in this sort of more out of the way location.
Man,
whereas it, of course, ends up in
Nobody
front
needs
of.
to see that.
No, it's fine. Just behind a wall over here. And I think it's pretty
I can't do
clear
this,
from
you
that
know,
that
I-
you can see the sense of jealousy. Michelangelo is younger, and he's this sort of up and
okay,
coming
now,
big star, and both of them are
you see
among
this
the
is,
first of this generation of superstar artists. This is a new idea that you can have
man,
artists who are not just craftspeople
hold on a
who work
second.
on commission making things for churches and wealthy people.
Parrot,
They're emerging as superstars, and here they are in Leonardo.
I gotta do my nails.
Well, I don't know how.
I already hurt so
And of course it ends up, he's overruled, and it ends up right in front of City Hall.
Fuck my ex.
To end this interview.
I don't know where she's from. She says she's Greek. Whatever.
Leonardo is and why. What?
Look.
Now this project is done and about to be shown to everybody. What are you still thinking about? The one that
We
moved
are the
me
same.
most, I think, just standing in front of it was his Virgin and Child with Saint Anne.
Well, my
it's
first
larger
name
than
is
I had realized.
French
And
too,
it's
so
been
it's okay.
restored
I'm
within the
Vietnamese,
last
French,
decade
American.
or so. And so the colors
And
are
something
vibrant
else.
in a way that we unfortunately
I don't give a
don't
fuck.
always get with these paintings.
No.
And it just, I was stunned standing there. And we were lucky to get to go there and film overnight at the
And
lake when it was
you know,
empty
like
and
fuck
to
COVID too, right?
experience
Like,
it, on our own, which was a really moving thing. to be
I got
up
the
close
shit
and
here.
personal
Like,
with them.
you see this? Like,
So, in the inevitable questions, you mean
it's an
besides-
air purifier.
It's like besides Babe Ruth, besides the Beatles.
It gotta change the HEPA filter, but that's like $60. Man, I don't know. I'll try.
The paintings going up.
This is-
Because, I passed by this thing called the Virgin in the Rocks, and
Man, I broke a lot of stuff in my house.
A great background and whatever. And then in our film, through an interview that Sarah Day did with Monsignor Timothy Burton, a Catholic
This
priest,
is
but
my
also
boxing
an
glove.
historian, he narrates a version of this painting that is.
Oh man.
There is
So,
right hand,
this is
which is on the back of John the Baptist, is very
these
tense.
speakers.
The fingers are pressing into John's
Gay
back.
pride.
The thumb is over his shoulder, and what she's doing is
I
holding
support
him back.
LGBTQ.
And here he shows her preventing the prophet of her own son's future death from drawing near to Christ.
You're seeing a mother with the natural
No.
maternal instincts, and not just the people in 3 dimensions, but the intentions.
Yeah, my
of
friend.
the
No,
feelings
I don't
of
care
thinking.
right now. I
And
don't care.
that
Wait
to me is-
2
is
seconds.
just what we're all here.
Because I have to
all
do
of
this
us.
video before I go outside.
Filmmakers Ken Burns and Sarah Burns, their documentary.
I made a new
Leonardo da
company.
Vinci airs on PBS next
It's
week.
called
Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carpe Diem.
A 27-year-old YouTube star and a former
To
boxing
support
legend stepped into
the homeless
ring
and the
on
kids.
Netflix last night, and the result might have surprised fans of Iron Mike
Okay.
Tyson, at least fans who hadn't thought
And
too
I made,
hard about the ravages
like,
of time.
T-shirts,
After
but
Tyson's 8-round match,
my, like, 2
influencer
designs right
boxer
here.
Jake Paul
Let's see, how do I? Okay. Oh, now you
The
see,
fight between
like,
Tyson and
that's
Paul was highly hyped for months.
New York
Shown
City.
live on Netflix to an international
Duh.
audience.
Okay.
The match strained
Look.
the streaming services
We live
capacity
here.
and led some fans just felt like a well promoted exhibition.
This,
Here to help us sort through it is NPR TV critic Eric Deggans, who did stay up
Carpe
late
Diem.
to watch this whole thing. Eric, thank you
And
for
then
your
the
service.
back saying,
Past 1 a.m. The things I do for you and NPR, Scott. You know?
all
What
lives
happened
matter.
at that time these days? I mean, on one hand,
But,
we shouldn't be surprised
you know,
that a
don't you
27
feel like
fighter
it's,
would beat a guy more than twice his age, but on the
a
other hand, that guy is Mike
controversial,
Tyson.
provocative
What happened
theme?
Well,
In a
that's
way,
very
I
good
feel
question.
like
This was Tyson's
there is
first
some
fight in years, and he
subtle,
was
like,
clearly struggling. I mean, I'm no fight expert, but except
thing
for
under,
the first few minutes of the
like,
match, Tyson was
all
slow.
lives
He
matter.
landed
Like,
quickly. According to
some
the
things
stats
like,
they put on screen after the
I'm
fight,
going to
Tyson landed something
instigate
like
this
18 punches in
later.
an 8-round match, while Paul
Investigate
landed at
this
least
too.
4 times more. As I watched, it was tough
I don't
to
know,
see
because
if
when I
Tyson
drew
was going
this,
back or Paul was trying not to hurt him.
I felt
But
it.
by the time we finished, it felt like I had
I had
watched
to do
a
it again
rich
on
kid
another
fight a
show. This
celebrity
is the
for
first
boxing
version.
during his birthday. you could tell the announcers and analysts working the fight were disappointed too. Let's
Okay,
listen to a little bit
enough.
of their commentary.
Now, the next one too.
Eric, was that Rosie Perez?
Yes, it was. So Rosie Perez, who people mostly know as an actor from films like Fearless.
I like this one too.
She's also a boxing
This one is
superfan, who
pretty
people
cool.
in the sport sometimes call the first lady.
All right, let's try.
Now, for people who don't know
This
boxing,
one
maybe
is
her presence made it seem like
for-
more of a Hollywood production, but
we need to
she
make a
actually delivered
difference.
A lot of great commentary and
I-
clearly
you know,
knew what
I've-
she was talking about. Now, if that had been the most unusual thing about the match, then Netflix would have been fine. But it wasn't.
I feel like
Right, so when I woke up this morning and was reading in on this, everybody was talking about Netflix struggling with technology. Did you experience that?
Oh yeah, I must have been kicked off the live stream more than a half a dozen times over the course of the night. The quality of the picture would get blurry with no warning, the sound would get thin, then return to normal, or the picture might freeze for
all
seconds.
lives matter
And there were
too.
tech issues for the commentators. I mean, one person's microphone didn't work, another
For
couldn't
real?
hear. I heard what sounded like somebody from
This one
Netflix's
smells
tech
better.
F-word in the background. They even had this moment, and it's all over social media, where they were
Actually,
interviewing
that-
Tyson backstage prepping for the fight.
So I don't know if you
He
like
also,
this
you can see his
one,
naked behind.
or
It was very, shall we say,
or if you like this one.
So this matters though because Netflix has.
I
a lot of
tried to
sports
copy.
programming coming up. Does it have the capacity to do this?
That is truly the billion-dollar question here. I mean, there weren't many boxing experts.
This
who
other
expected
T-shirt
anything
design,
other
but
than
it's
a
okay.
money
I'm not
grab.
gonna put it.
Tyson reportedly made $20 million. Paul, whose company Most Valuable Promotions promoted
The
the fight,
United
claimed
States.
he made twice that. It was also a test for whether
That's
Netflix's
not mine,
technology
but
could handle
I could
big
put
live events. Amazon streams NFL games
Carpe
weekly on
Diem,
Thursday night without a
which
hitch. Paul said
means
after the match that 120 million people watched on Netflix,
seize
which,
the
if
moment,
that's true, will be
and
comparable to the viewership
I
of
want
the
to save
Super Bowl
people's
this year.
lives,
Now,
you
Netflix
know,
is also going to
like
carry
make a
WWE
difference.
Wrestling
I know how
to
it is,
pro football games on
you know,
Christmas
to
Day,
be,
and if they don't
you know,
up their game
homeless
fast,
and
there are going
the
to be a
kids.
lot of disappointed sports fans.
Now it's gonna be
Jackie and TV
Thanksgiving,
critic Eric Deggans. Thank you so much,
getting
Eric.
cold outside. It's time to give back. We should be doing this anyways every day, you know, but I think, you know. Ouch! What the fuck is? Yo, something's on. Oh my god!
President Joe Biden
Someone
met
fucked my
Chinese
table
counterpart
up.
Xi Jinping
Like-
on the sidelines of the Asia Pacific Economic
For
Cooperation
real.
Summit in Lima today. It is likely to be the final encounter between the two, but the meeting
What
has been
the
overshadowed by President-elect Donald Trump's threats to
Who
impose
cares?
tariffs on imports to the
That
U.S.
hurt me.
A move critics say could give Beijing a
Matter
good
fuck.
chance of global trade. Simeon Tagle reports from Lima.
Well, también.
President Xi Jinping opened the Chinese-built
I help me touch your culo.
After making the effort to come all this
Like
way,
Julio.
the Chinese president inaugurated the mega port in Shanghai. Just
Ciao.
miles north of
Thank you
Lima,
so much
via
for
video link from Peru's
listening
presidential
to
palace.
me. Hands
He
on,
and Peru's
man.
President Dina Boluarte sat side by side watching the opening
She
ceremony on a TV screen.
La inauguración del megapuerto de Chancay que tenemos.
Boluarte described the inauguration of Shanghai on Thursday as a
Why didn't she do this?
historic moment
What?
that would transform
Look.
Peru's economy into a world-class industrial and logistical hub.
I'm sorry.
Boluarte has been rolling out the red carpet for Xi, with China having overtaken the US as Peru's biggest trading partner. Built and operated by Chinese state company COSCO as part of the Belt and Road Initiative, Chancay will be the largest deep-water port on South America's Pacific coast.
I'll talk to you soon later.
2 weeks from freight times across the Pacific, as it funnels raw materials such as lithium, copper, and soy.
This is fucked up. Oh God.
The inauguration of the port eclipsed the arrival of President Joe Biden in Lima
I'm
later
cool
that day
to
for the
figure
Asia
this out.
Pacific Economic
Watch.
Cooperation Summit, or APEC. This and the G20 in Brazil
I
on
will.
Monday represent his final curtain call
Watch.
for the gathering of global leaders. There have been nationwide protests over
Okay.
Boluarte's alleged involvement in the killings of dozens of anti-government protesters 2 years ago. A massive deployment of police power in the capital and schools in Lima closed.
Scorpio energy
The
here.
event has been overshadowed by the return of Donald Trump, and specifically for many leaders here.
Alright.
Tariffs on
We'll
imports
talk
to the
later.
US,
Thank you guys for
60% Chinese
your support.
products over what he calls Beijing's unfair trading practices.